Runner Watcher, I
Oh,
know,
and
is a
we're
very
off.
accomplished runner. Finding the book right
Yeah,
away.
book.
So the book is a very... It's kind of a gross item to find really early in the
Okay,
game.
green pendant, Eastern, and the other two are crystal.
So the book gives them access to Desert Palace, but they need like 4 other things to really full clear it. So we may see somebody make that dive early and just take that big gamble of double dipping, or just, you know, put it off until you have like gloves and fire and a weapon. Looks like
Yeah, that
Lemmy
makes sense.
missed killing guard, so won't get that 8 bomb pull.
Single arrow from the uncle.
I would expect Lemmy to kill one of these guards with a pot to get a tree pull later. But nope.
Just rupees in the sanctuary chest. Give me a minute.
So a lot of different ways the runners could start in open mode, seeing as how you can just start in either Sanctuary or Link's house and go wherever you want. But it looks like all of our runners are opting to do the Uncle start first and then head over to Lost Woods.
Yeah, lately
Possibility
that's...
for a little deviation, checking like Lumberjack, which I think Lemmy might do. Nope. Nobody wants
Lately that's become my favorite start.
Yeah, it's very much the meta start. This is the most common way to open in open mode. Runner Watcher giving us an early bed check. Let your dreams be memes.
Oh, baby. Be your pet hypes in chat, folks.
Oh.
Just couch cash.
Yeah.
That is dead.
So a little bit of a time loss for Runner Watcher going over there to check Ped, but at least he knows. He knows. Yeah, we got some fun sprites today. I recognize Abigail on Weighty Words from Stardew Valley. Lemmy is playing Sailor Moon, I think.
Yes, that is Sailor Moon.
And I think Runner Watcher is Frog from Chrono Trigger. I don't know Big Master's sprite.
I have absolutely no idea, to be honest.
Some kind of raccoon, pretty sure. His sword and blindside out. It looks like Lemmy did eventually find some bombs, despite not getting that tree pull.
Yep. Alright. Now I can watch. Alright. So, 20 rupees there. Where was the sword?
The blindside out in the first chest, I believe.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, all these locations that the runners are going to now, all of the runners will go to them. So this sets up the options for later after Kakariko. Desert is the big question mark right now. Will anybody dare go there without all the items needed to complete it?
I mean, it's a gamble, but...
If anybody does do it, I don't think we'll see it until at least after South Shore.
Oh, probably not.
But I could see somebody like going into Desert without a glove and fire source before, say, doing like Eastern Palace without the bow.
Well, the real risk is that... Oh no! Lemel got this chicken clip soft lock.
It's really unfortunate for Lemmy. So that's
you can...
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh. You can tell because they had their hands up in the air holding an invisible chicken. Go ahead, though.
Yeah, that's a bug caused by trying to pick up a chicken on like the same frame that it starts to move. And it's normally not a problem like if it happens to you on the overworld, because you can fix it by just like changing screens or taking damage. But when you're in that hut and your bump's already exploded, you have no way to get out of that state. You cannot leave the room. And he was forced to save and quit. So a bit of a time lost there. But
library was just bombs, by the way.
Okay. And it's not like the biggest time loss. It's not the same as like dying to cold stare, but it is a little bit, and every little bit counts.
Piece of heart in the dam.
Big Master check the race game item before doing it, while Runner Watcher is doing it blind. I like doing it blind, especially when you don't have a lot of stuff from Gakuriko, but he's going to be a little disappointed with these 20 rupees.
I mean,
you might pick them up anyway, though.
In early game, it's like rupees help. Pretty much anything helps. So it's like you might as well just do it blind, because chances are whatever it is going to be in some way, shape, or form useful.
The power gloves right outside the dam. Yeah. Yeah, I like checking the race, or I like doing the race game blind, because in the early game, not only do you need all those progression items, but you also need bombs. You also need rupees. So the chance that whatever's on race game is something you wouldn't mind picking up is really high.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, chances are like there's a much higher chance of it being something slightly worse than just like being, say, arrows or something. Like, how many items would you really just hate to see at race game, honestly? Ooh, mitts! Sword! Second sword already! Oh my!
So the early desert dive is almost gone. There's still the possibility that like Moon Pearl is on the ledge or something though.
Yes, Professor Render. Pet is dead.
Woody Word's heading up to Ice Rod Cave for us, narrowly avoiding all those crabs. Although with Blue Mail it would take like 4 hits to kill him, so I think he's fine. Another sword.
Wait, what? Seriously?
Yep, Tempered Sword in Ice Rod Cave. Our runners are going to be
so
Woody Word's heading south. This is what you would do if you're going to fake Flipper. I think that's what he's going to do.
Yep.
Now, of course, without the Moon Pearl, he won't be able to get the Waterfall Fairy. But Zora is in logic if he wanted to go there. He may just go to Hobo and save and quit, though.
Yeah, is Lumberjack? Nobody's checked Lumberjack? Wow.
Yeah, no Lumberjack check yet.
Goodness, that's kind of surprising. Usually at least one person checks it out of the 4.
Back of Escape from Runner Watcher. I really like this play here. I try to do Back of Escape as soon as I'm saving and quitting with gloves in hand.
Lamp!
And he finds a lamp.
Oh gosh, that's Aga access. That's not good.
That's a Desert Palace if it's not boots locked as well.
Yeah.
I could definitely see somebody going desert before Aga at least.
True. I mean, that would make sense, but that's kind of scary. Seeing Tempered in a lamp this early. Just over 9 minutes in.
Without the Moon Pearl, though, the only way Aga makes sense right now is if that Moon Pearl's on the pyramid. And of course, you have to wait until you've defeated Aga to find out if that's the case.
Yeah.
Big Master giving us a Houlihan. It's kind of an odd move. He was only 3 rupees away from Zora money, but, you know, you need rupees for other things.
Pod money and other stuff, yeah.
I think it would have made more sense for him to go over to Desert and just pick up the 50 rupee cave on the way. So Runner Watcher is going to go up the mountain for us with that lamp. Of course, he can only get 2 items here, one from the Old Man and one in Spectacle Rock Cave, and see one more on top of Spectacle Rock. But it's not a huge time loss, even if there is nothing up here, because you still get that save and quit warp. And I think Wadey's going to go to Desert.
Well, it's not a bad play.
Definitely not. The
Also
only
can
danger
get
here is if
Akina.
it's boots locked.
You still get 1 item at the very least, or actually 2 items, maybe 3, even if it's boots locked. Possibly more.
Yeah, worst case scenario is like map or compass in the map chest, and then that's and then the dual edge and Akina. So minimum 2 items.
Exactly.
Lemmy, however, is doing front of escape.
Yeah, tempered and mitts and lamp. Yeah, it's this is a seed. Oh dear. Okay, there he is.
Agina's Cave not paying off, only a piece of heart. And there's a heart container in the Lost Woods. Interesting. Oh wait, no, the other thing. Tedious! Big Master, not wanting to take that risk going to Desert without the boots, he's headed over to Sahasrara and maybe Eastern after. Two Tempered Swipes takes down that ball and chain guard real easy for your piece of heart reward. I think Lemmy might do back of escape now. And our only guaranteed accessible chest in Desert is the Big Key, so they will be able to kill Lanmo. Small key on the torch, though, so Lanmo's not actually in logic.
Oh boy. Well,
so Wadey does have the option
of... Key.
Yeah, he does have the option of stealing that key and going to check the right side, but with it being a crystal, I think if you're going to do anything, you choose to kill Lanmo here.
Yeah. I mean, that does suggest we'll get boots before Ganon's Tower, at least.
That's very true. Bootsless seeds are decidedly a little less fun.
I have never read that sign before. Also, do you have any idea what causes that bush crab under the rock by the Old Man Cave to spawn or not spawn?
You know, I'm not really sure. It might be a sprite limit thing.
I don't know, because like sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not.
Well, I mean, but depending on like the movement of the buzz blobs, like they might be on screen and cause them not to spawn. It may just be like a 50-50 chance, like finding bombs under certain rocks.
Possibly.
Runner Watcher headed down to Desert Ledge real quick to get that shovel. Runner Watcher is our only runner to not do Ice Rod Cave. So he'll have a little bit of a longer fight on Lambo than Weighty Worlds here. Weighty Words. Tempered Sword better than Master Sword, I'm pretty sure. And Lammo not having an item means that to get that last item in Desert Palace, the runners will have to find the boots.
Yep.
Kind of annoying, but, you know, still, you got a crystal. Maybe you'll never have to come back.
Yeah, but it'll lead away at you until you...
Right.
You're either in go mode or you...
Alright, I want to see the shovel check. Waity, do the shovel. He's doing it!
He's doing it indeed.
I'd say this is like a 95% chance of being the Moon Pearl, but I'm going to be proved wrong. It's the Moon Pearl! How did he know?
Aga's not out of the question yet.
Right, without hammer or flippers, Aga can be logically required just to get access to the east part of Dark World. But with Moon Pearl and Mitts, Waity can get to a lot of locations, so no Aga quite yet.
Yeah, actually it's without hammer in general, because probably the most trolly Aga requirement is hammer at Pyramid Fairy, and the only way to get that without some kind of minor or whatever glitch is to do Aga.
Yeah, hammer and Pyramid Fairy would hard require Aga without glitches for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you can do a minor glitch to...
With the flippers, though, they could still get over to, like, Pod and the Pyramid. They just wouldn't be able to bring the bomb with them.
Yeah.
Hammer and Pyramid Fairy is actually one of the coolest item locations to see in a race. Because it is totally sequence breakable. But not everybody is as comfortable with the big bomb dupes.
Yeah, that does take some practice.
Quick dip into Skull Woods from Waity, finding 50 rupees right away.
It's not frame perfect or anything, I don't think. It's just one of those things that you have to practice the timing of.
No small key in the second chest means Waity does have to go around the slow way. Feels bad, man.
You know, chat brings up a good point. We haven't seen Lumberjack.
Yeah, Lumberjack is another way that Aga could definitely be required. Not even just the Ice Rod. Big Master making the play. He says that Aga is way more likely to be required than going into desert without the boots.
Oh, no.
I don't agree, but, you know, it could totally pay off if Aga's required for, like, Lumberjack.
Where was Shovel again?
Shovel was on Desert Ledge.
Oh, no.
So Big Master's gonna kill Aga, and he'll be really disappointed when he sees that the Moon Pearl is not on Pyramid, but it could still pay off. I
mean, maybe he checked. Okay, 5-6 at Swamp and Mire. I missed the other
the pendants for Thieves Town, and Palace of Darkness. I love that we went to different places when we saw the map check. You really want to know where the red crystals were, and I can only care about those pendants.
My eyes just instantly were drawn to the red crystals.
Oh, I missed that in Eastern. Was that the King of Samaria? Or am I crazy?
I
saw red. I saw like a little flash of red.
See it.
I may have been mistaken.
I was looking elsewhere. Oh yeah, that's true. Hammer cannot be on Pyramid Fairy anymore.
Alright. Feels bad, man.
Because Swamp does indeed require the hammer. Oh my, apparently we found red mail somewhere.
Maybe that was the
brewery. Bumper ledge.
Oh, okay.
I doubt they'll be getting that. I probably would, but I'm a scrub.
I don't think, like, even like the best runners don't mind picking up red mail. Maybe they wouldn't go out of their way on Bumper Cave, but you know, if it's right there, absolutely.
I've actually become quite a bit more comfortable with my execution since playing multi-world.
Let me take down Lammo. Gets his compass as a reward. Runner Watcher headed over to turn in that shovel. He'll get his Moon Pearl and probably go into Dark Well. Meanwhile, Big Master is starting his Agathite and Weighty Worlds finishing up the front of Thieves Town. Now, he may decide to leave Thieves Town after the first floor because without the hammer, he'll never be able to check the big chest. Especially finding the key in the front like that. But with Thieves Town being a pendant, it makes it really, you know, it feels really bad to go all the way to the back. And he is taking a death warp, he'll leave.
Yeah.
Lemmy decides not to turn in his shovel and instead is going up to Sahasrara. It's one of those things about fetch quests. Like, the earlier you find a fetch quest, in my experience, the more likely it is to be something you need. But it still could just be nothing. Just like every other item location.
Yep.
And I believe this is our first sick kid check, giving us his life savings. He won't be needing it. Poor sick kid. And Big Master takes down Aga, does his map check. What's on the pyramid, though? Probably nothing. Dig game not paying off, just 20 rupees after so many digs. Alright, here it is, Big Master. Moment of truth. Just a bottle. This isn't the end for Big Master, though. Aga is a pretty big gamble, but it can still be required for other things, for sure. Witty Word's taking the frog with him on his way to Stumpy and then Hype Cave. Not a bad decision. He'll have to turn it in before he can really go anywhere else, but, you know, it could be something. It's totally in logic. Given the items they have so far, I really wouldn't be surprised if pot ends up being required, but I think we should probably wait till Hype Cave to make that judgment. And here we go, Hype Cave. Bugnet? Okay. Okay, no, that's not it. No, and another bottle. Hype Cave, not so hype. So, of what the runners have available at this point, really the best place, as far as like item density goes, is Palace of Darkness. Unfortunately, Palace of Darkness is only in logic through killing Aghanim. It is sequence breakable, but not everybody is aware of the Kern jump. Witty Words will turn in the Smith before he does anything else, though. Not much choice there for him. Other possibilities are like the back of Thieves Town. Or just the Zora area, which I don't think we've seen at all yet. Zora, while the Waterfall Fairy is not in Logic, Zora is in Logic. However horrible that is. And the Smith only having 3 bombs. Alright, what do you do now, Wadey? Do you go enter the Dark World and pick up the purple chest? Or do you just go over to Pod? Runner Watcher also deciding to dip out of Thieves Town after the first 4 chests. Makes sense. Lemmy not finding much in Eastern. I think he'll turn into Shovel now. Alright, Weighty Words entering the Dark World. Do you go south to Purple Chest or east to the current jump? He's going south. Into Thieves Town, no less. Okay. I didn't see how many items were actually in the front of Thieves Town, but it can't be more than 2 since they do have that small key. So possible progression here in the back of Hammerless Thieves Town. Hammerless Pendant Thieves Town. Some very exciting route diversion here. This is a very dangerous gamble for Weighty Words because one of those items might be in that big chest of Thieves Town. And if that was the case, he'd have to come back a 3rd time later. Some cash and some arrows is fire-locked in Misery Mire. I imagine the other runners also checked that hint, but that's the first time I've seen it. So Mire not going to have much for us today. Yes, Palace of Darkness is 100% in Logic, but the Logic would require you to kill Aga, which is a pretty big time investment versus the bomb jump across the river. Lemmy finally making his way into the Dark World, doing his map check. I imagine his route won't differ much from everybody else. Dip of Skullwoods and then into Village of Outcasts. I did miss what was in the attic chest in Thieves Town. Hopefully, it was an item though. It was a compass? Oh no. Piece of heart in the Maiden's Cell. And Weighty Words headed to the blind fight. This is a very terrifying fight if you're not aware of the script, but I think Weighty Words does know it. He's setting up for it at least.
Alright, I'm back. I'm very sorry about that.
No trouble. Weighty Words schooling us on how to do this blind script. So far, so good. Very nice kill.
Wow.
But did it pay off? No. Oh, feels bad, man. Weighty Words picking up his first pendant, but no progression.
Was there anything in Thieves Town? Doesn't look like it.
And I think chat is helping me, and they said that there was progression, or sorry, there was an item in the big chest. that he was unable to get.
Oh no, that's even worse.
Alright, witty words. Without too many options available to him, is going to pick up this purple chest. Hopefully it's the hammer. So mirrorless smith sequence, the purple chest and the smith without the mirror, is one of the least efficient item checks you can do. But it can have progression. So like if the mirror or the hammer. Yeah, the mirror or the hammer locked behind purple chest and smith is something you hope to never see, but if you guess it quickly enough, you can gain a huge advantage over other runners.
I actually had 4 seeds in a row once where mirror was in purple chest, generated on different days, several days apart, but yeah.
That's pretty gross.
Like, there was absolutely no PRNG or anything else involved. It just was really, really, really unlucky.
Oh, I totally missed it. What was it?
I already forgot.
I assume it's nothing, because Wadey is headed up to the Chiral Castle, where he'll do Aghanim for East Darkwold access.
Oh, wait. Yeah, Pod's the play at this point, I think.
Yeah, Pod is looking pretty good. Better by the minute. I was hoping we'd see somebody do the Kern jump. But, you know, it's relatively new tech. Maybe not everybody has practiced it. Oh, no, it's not. It's just a,
it's
perfect. It's not frame perfect. I made a guide for it, Matthew. I will link it to you after this. It's really a lot simpler than you might think. But Aga can still be required for Lumberjack. We haven't seen that yet. And there is no sequence break for a Lumberjack, so if that ends up being required, then everyone will have to do Aga. Big Master, though, giving us sight on something we haven't seen yet. He's headed up to Zora, which is logical.
Oh my, we haven't seen Zora yet?
Yep, no sequence breaking required. All you need is a glove. Come on, vanilla flippers.
Just 20 rupees.
Thanks, Zora. You're my friend.
So that leaves Pod in the
I think all we have is Pod and Catfish. As far as I know, we've seen everything else.
What's Big Master doing?
He is, I don't know. It can be a little confusing, right? Because maybe he thinks he forgot something and he's trying to think it through, and then realizes, oh, Aga gives me access to East Darkwold. He's going to Sanctuary though, so I'm not sure. Although Big Master does not have his Moon Pearl yet. Has he not been to Desert?
I'm not sure.
I think not. Runner Watcher finally doing Ice Rod Cave and getting his Tempered Sword. And he will fake Flipper over to Zora as well.
Oh no, apparently he forgot to track his book.
Oh my.
Oh no. Oh
so
no.
it might be a bit before he decides to do that. We are getting a Lumberjack check from Big Master though. Doesn't make a ton of sense for him to do this right now because he still doesn't have the boots, but info for us.
Oh my god, it's
the mirror. Aga required, everybody. There is no sequence break that will get you to that mirror. So Big Master, not as behind as he might think he is.
Now he's like, but what did I miss? I mean, Aga was going to be required for Pod anyway, as far as logical, but that's a hard requirement. I don't even think you can major glitch to that unless you like EG. I'm not even sure if you can EG to that, but
I'd have to trust you for that because I don't know anything about major glitches.
I know at least overworld glitches it's impossible. I'm pretty sure with Underworld clips not allowing EG it's impossible, but I'm not 100% on that.
So kind of a weird situation that Big Master's in right now. He's the only player to have done AGA, and until he checked that lumberjack, he thought it was he thought it was a really bad call that cost him a bunch of time. But now knowing that the mirror is there, it was totally absolutely 100% worth for him to do AGA. But does he remember that he has the book, and will he go to Desert soon?
Oh no! And now he's doing.
Yeah, he's double checking locations. He thinks he messed up big time.
I mean, the only thing he messed up is not tracking his book.
Open the menu again. Okay, there's a green item on the right side. Come on, Big Master. He's saving and quitting. Okay, this is it. This is the moment. Go to Link's house. Okay, and go south. All right, I think he's back on track, everybody. Runner Watcher, our second player to start heading into Hyrule Castle. He's going to do the front of escape, though, first. But I imagine he will Death Warp here and do Aghanim after. Witty Words and Lemmy also really not wanting to do Aghanim yet, so they are headed into Thieves Town and Eastern Palace, which we know has nothing, but for them, it's still a potential game-winning move.
Yep. Also, Big Master's gonna have the lead here after he... Well, actually, no, he's not, because he's still gonna...
Yeah, thinking of this, if we only look at it from Big Master's point of view, this is a really trolly shovel on the ledge, because like he thinks he's done everything right, and then he remembers, oh, I have the book, right? And he gets over here, and the only thing he finds is a fetch quest.
I mean, guys, this is why you check Lumberjack early. This is
checking Lumberjack early is something that has definitely fallen out of favor since tournaments started becoming a really big thing. I still do it, but
same. It's like I don't care what everybody else thinks. It's just you're right there. You're headed to Lost Woods anyway.
Yeah, I prefer doing the Lumberjack check because not only do you get that info early, which, can pay off, although it usually doesn't, you also get the option to do extra tree pulls and easier access to one of the bush crabs, which can have early bombs for you.
Exactly. It's like there's so much convenience just right there in that area.
I can say definitely that if any of our runners had done the early Lumberjack check, we would already know what's in pod. That would have happened well before many of these checks that they've done. Big Master walking down, gonna get his shovel. He'll probably kill Lambo after, hoping it's a second item, although we know it's not.
Poor Big Master. He's gonna be upset when he realizes.
Yeah, probably. Although with Aga already down, he's not behind even. Not by much anyway.
I mean, he's still gotta do the entire Dark World loop before he realizes.
Yeah, very true. Although I don't think we really didn't find anything. So maybe he'll just go straight to pod.
It's still gonna take time.
So I think, given what we know already, I think Hammer being in Palace of Darkness is probably our most likely scenario. Though there are some convoluted alternatives, like Boots in Palace of Darkness leading to Mirror, leading to Hammer and Hera, stuff like that. Big Master doing his Landmo fight. With the Tempered Sword, this isn't so bad. It's 2 spins to kill a Landmo or 4 swipes. Weighty now doing his Zora check, seeing there's nothing on the ledge. About to be disappointed by the big fish. Meanwhile, Runner Watcher finishing up Aga, and I imagine he'll go Catfish after this, but he might opt to just go straight to Pod. Alright, Big Master, after finally realizing he does have the book, all he gets for his troubles is a shovel. Now, go turn it in. You got it.
I mean, I think at this point he has to know that that's the answer.
Where are you going? Okay, there you go.
Wait, these are blue guards? For some reason, I thought they were green guards.
It's because he defeated Agalon.
Oh, right.
They all get promoted. And Big Master's done it, finally getting his Moon Pearl and access to the Dark World. But where does he go first? If he wants to come back in this race, he needs to go East Dark World. He needs to push that Aga advantage that he has. But item density says go West Dark World. He's going West. Aww. Meanwhile, Runner Watcher opting not to do Catfish, instead going straight to Palace of Darkness. And Weighty Words, I think, is going to give us the current jump.
Oh boy. Not that it's going to matter. He's going to have to do Aga eventually.
Yeah, he will, unfortunately. Okay, Weighty Words, obviously not having seen my video, decides to do it the harder way, but he's really good at it, so no problem there.
I mean, sometimes the harder way, if you're just more consistent at it, it's like, go for what you're consistent at.
There's an easy way to time out the bomb exploding using the tree there. If you drop and pick up the bomb as you hit the corner of the tree, it times out perfectly for just walking towards the ledge, rather than like holding it in your hands and then jumping at the perfect moment.
You know, honestly, I don't mind.
Pod is bowlock. Pod's bowlock.
I don't mind seeing a required item on the lumberjack because it means I don't have to worry about is Aga required, is it not required. It's just like, it's required, doesn't matter what else happens, it's required.
Just go there like as soon as you can, get it out of the way. Weighty Words finding the hook shot on Catfish. The only place anybody is going to find progression. He probably will go and enter Pod though. But, you know, Catfish was the play, definitely. Was that the hook shots on an angry fish?
So that opens East Death Mountain. So the next progression is East Death Mountain, I think.
Yep, definitely Paradox Cave and Spiral Cave. Gonna have our next thing. Everybody's pretty bottlenecked at this point.
Or Hookshot Cave.
Oh, right, they have access to Dark Death Mountain with the Mist. Absolutely true.
Or Super Bunny, of course.
So it's pretty amusing that the Runner Watcher is completely bottlenecked by Catfish, I believe. He's been everywhere else. But
you're too high, now you're too low. You gotta be like... So, my trick to reverse fake flippers is that I have like a pixel of like space between me and the upper little bumps on that. Just like the light green color, just a pixel of light green color of the upper bump, and then I jump down.
I like going to I go to like the very top right spot that you possibly can, and then go left a little bit and tap down, and that's the right pixel for jumping off. Let me it's gonna give up. Okay. It's one of those tricks where like you see somebody do it and it looks like it's not really that complicated. They're just jumping off the side, but without that little info of where that right pixel is, it's not very easy anymore.
Yeah, once you realize it, it's pretty easy. Same with the spectacle rock bomb jump. What I do with that, if I have a sword, is I line up the very edge of the sword so that it is directly on the left side of the telepathic tile, back all the way up, and place a bomb.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's another bomb jump that's really hard to just emulate somebody else, but as soon as you know what to do, it's pretty simple. So Witty Words does find the fire rod in the bottom, possibly the middle or top of Paradox Cave. I'm not sure how Paradox Cave works, it's very confusing. But he has a fire rod all the same. Giving him access to
the answer. Back at Skull Woods, but there's also Spiral, Hookshot, and Super Bunny left.
Yeah, he'll definitely stay on the mountain and finish up all these checks.
Actually,
possibly
Spike
even
Cave
giving us
too.
Spike Cave, not without the hammer.
No hammer. Yeah, no hammer.
So I've been in that situation before where I go into Spike Cave without the hammer. Although not nearly as bad as going to Spike Cave without the gloves.
Oh gosh, I've seen that once and it was just like, feels bad, man.
It's very depressing, yes. Runner Watcher right behind Wady. He's checking Paradox Cave as well. He'll get his fire rod. Spiral Cave
Samaria.
with the Cane of Samaria.
Not immediately useful, but
definitely required. Yep.
Although, actually, it could be required for Ice Palace now that I think. Not yet though, because no hammer. Need hammer to get to Cold Stare. So yeah, presently it opens nothing.
Witty Word's gonna do this little hookshot clip here. He gets it, no problem. Making that look really easy.
I've only ever gotten that once.
There's a little trick to it. It's mostly just a timing thing, but your X position matters a lot. It won't work if you're too far left or too far right.
And it makes sense.
Super Bunny Cave, pretty empty, but we got 5 more checks here in Hookshot. He's going to give us a medallion check on TR first, though. Pretty important decision right here to check Turtle Rock.
Ether.
Their medallion. Meanwhile, Big Master is doing his blind fight. No script, but I think he'll be able to get it, no problem.
Alright, what's Hookshot Cave got for us? Butter Sword.
Fourth sword, of course.
Bombs. Flippers.
Oh, that's not nice. Oh, that's nice though. Okay, Hookshot Cave. Hookshot Cave scared me for a second, but we're back on track. Don't save and quit. You got Spike Cave. No, he skipped Spike Cave.
A lot of people skip Spike Cave.
With the cape in a bottle, Spike Cave is in logic form, although it's probably nothing. It's, nothing to worry about yet. But Ice Palace is looking pretty good. And Witty Word seems to agree. He's headed right over to Ice Palace.
Professor Render, Aga is absolutely required for Lumberjack there, and there's no other way to get into Swamp.
Yeah, so right now it does look like Witty Words has a pretty decent lead, but he still has not killed Aga. He sequence broke over to East Darkworld. And until he gets those boots, I don't think he's ever going to check Lumberjack.
Yeah, probably not. We see something else. Oh, right.
Big Master opting to go after that red mail.
Yeah, really.
It does cost, a not insignificant amount of time to get this red mail, but if it saves you from dying even once, it was probably worth it.
Yeah.
And Weighty Words being an ice palace with only, I think, 7 hearts, I don't think he would mind having red mail right now, if he could.
I'm sure he's quite comfortable with this. He's an experienced runner. He has gold sword.
Oh yeah,
for
sure.
Fire rod.
Runner Watcher following him into Ice Palace. The hint was a unique item requires the hook shot. Yeah, we know. Thanks, game. Of course, both hammer and flippers were locked behind that hook shot. Weighty Words bomb jumping over to Ice-T, or over to the right side. That's a weird way to set up that bomb jump. I don't think I've seen anybody do it from the bottom like that before. But if it works, it works.
A few times. Yeah, there's a few ways.
Yeah, usually you see people set it up from the top left corner of the hole.
Yeah, that one has a really nice visual cue, plus you don't have to move after setting the bomb. That's the one I generally use. Lumberjack knowledge.
And the second hint in Ice Palace was a unique item is on a boss. Interesting. That would be so much more useful if we knew which unique item it was. Alright, Lemmy finishing up his West Dark World checks is now added into pod. He will find out it is, unfortunately, bow locked. Now, if he brought a potion, he might opt to sequence break to the back of pod. Weighty Words headed down to Ice-T. And we call this the Ice-T chest because it's an ice palace and the room is shaped like the letter T. But it's like a sideways letter T, so I'm not really sure how that came to be.
We have a glitch in the game called spooky action. Like,
that would make sense, though, right? Because it's so spooky.
Eh.
And just a small key in the big chest. So it looks like our last item is going to be on Cold Stare. Possibly a unique item satisfying that hint we saw. Or is it a key? Did we already find 3 items? It may be a key.
I honestly don't count items.
Yeah, it's a little difficult with all 4 runners to watch. This should be a pretty quick fight with the butter sword. 1, 2, and 3.
Beautiful.
Bombos. Well, it's a unique item. It's on a boss. It does nothing for us right now, but maybe required later. Just another example of the Fire Rod and the Bombos Medallion locking the other in Ice Palace. It's so incredibly common, I'm starting to think it's a bug. Let me try to throw a bomb at the catfish.
I think that might just be a confirmation bias.
I feel like I see it like every few days. Let me finally
but how much other stuff do you see every few days, you know?
Very true. Plus, the majority of my seeds are submitted by my viewers, so they tend to cherry pick the ones that they think are the funniest.
Yeah, so that probably I end up seeing, like, part in that.
I end up seeing like pedestal required seeds a lot more often than I really should. Alright, waiting words, only finding the Bombos Medallion in Ice Palace, Runner Watcher, the same scenario, and they're both opting to go back to the mountain to do Tower of Hera. And Spike Cave soon after. Now, of course, both of these runners are completely unaware that the mirror is on Lumberjack. Quick Ether tablet check first. We got the boots!
What are those?
What are those? Okay, now, so like I was saying, Waiting Words and Runner Watcher, who's about to get the boots, do not know that the mirror is on Lumberjack, but it's pretty common if you skip the early Lumberjack check to check it later when you do have the boots. Hopefully they don't forget. That would be pretty disastrous.
This seed, though.
There's a unique item behind a bomb. Thank you so much for these hint tiles. Runner Watcher also picking up his booty boots. Now he can finally go fast.
Gotta go fast.
Right into the side of Tower of Hera. Does that feel? That feels so bad when you've been waiting for the boots for so long and you finally get them, and the very first thing you do is bonk.
True.
Witty Word's going for the hook shot and bonk back option here for the big chest. And while these guys are running through Tower of Hera, we have Big Master and Lemmy finishing up their Death Mountain checks, where they will get flippers and the hammer. I'm curious if they'll both go to Ice Palace as well, like Waiting and Runner Watcher did. Cane of Burna on the boss. Does that leave an item in the basement? I think it might. I honestly have not been paying that much attention to the items. Nice little bonk setup with the bomb jump from Runner Watcher. Well, if there is an item in the basement, Wadey says no thanks and is headed down to Spike Cave.
There is actually one case where butter spins do more damage, and that's on Hinox's.
Yeah, Link to the Past is silly when it comes to those damage tables. It's very clear looking at how the damage tables were set up for Link to the Past that the developers of the original game had no idea that Randomizer would ever exist.
I mean, back then the internet was barely even a thing.
All right, Weighty Word is doing his boots check, so this will lead him to checking Lumberjack blind, which will be huge if he had already killed Aga, which he hasn't.
I mean, can you imagine how just like I just could only imagine if you could go back in time and tell Miyamoto what we'd be doing to this game.
Yeah, could you put
27 years later?
Yeah, Miyamoto, would it be too much trouble for you to put like spike damage in a different class than the Butter Sword? We'd really appreciate it.
I mean, to be fair, they fixed that, but just not in this.
All right, he's headed up to Lumberjack. I hope he checks it blind, because that's more fun.
Then again, this game's actually older than I am, so...
Oh, they can't check it blind because he hasn't killed Aga, right? Okay, so yeah. Weighty Words is checking Aga. He'll find out that his sequence break of Aga Tower was not needed. He had to kill Aga anyway. Runner Watcher does check the basement of Hera. I think it was empty. Weighty Words heading straight to Aga Tower. He wants that mirror, and he wants it now.
We already have 2 forfeits. Oh my. This seat's just been awful.
Okay, so Lamille, after getting his hammer and flippers, and fire rod, decides to go Skull Woods. Big Master is opting to go straight back up the mountain to Tower of Hera, and he doesn't know it yet, but the boots. Neither player going into Ice Palace like Weighty and Runner did. So this can be both good and bad, because Bombos Medallion was an Ice Palace. It can still be required for Meyer access.
I mean, they're gonna get Bombos eventually, just because they're gonna have to kill Cold Stare.
Right, but if Bombos ends up not being required, they may be go-moding Ice Palace and saving a bunch of time over Runner and Weighty.
Very true.
Big Master picking up his own pair of kicks. Runner Watcher doing bonk rocks, and hopefully he's practiced enough to remember to do Lumberjack after this. Yeah, that's exactly where he's going.
Yeah, this was a double Aga requirement, logically.
That's right, Aga access was required to get to East Dark World, and also required for the Lumberjack. And he's checking it blind. So Runner Watcher has no idea what he's about to see, but he really hopes it's something good. Catching some fairies real quick, though. I didn't even know there were fairies in here.
Yep.
And it's the mirror. Runner Watcher, super hype.
Or probably super mad.
Oh, I can't imagine he's mad at this point, because you know, when you kill Aga like that, you want it to be required for everybody, and the mirror thing there means that it definitely was, so he's not behind it all.
Yeah, but it's still frustrating to just be like, seriously, game? I don't know, maybe that's just me, though.
Let me opt in to save some magic here in the torch room. Not super necessary for him to do that because he does have that butter sword.
So, butter actually does no more damage to Moth than a tempered sword does.
Yeah, but it's still like a ton of damage.
Yeah, it's like, what, 4 slashes?
Yeah, forward slashes or poke dashes. He's opting to use up all his fire rod first. Just don't spin him. Don't spin him. Let go of B. He's gonna try to spin them. Don't do it, Lemmy! He did.
Oh no.
So I feel like this keeps coming up when I do commentary. But
you might want to be careful.
Yeah, for sure.
You might want to be careful. Thank you. Oh, I guess you gotta. There we go.
So the butter sword and the tempered sword, neither of which can harm Mothula with spins. If you try to spin Mothula with those two swords, Mothula won't even notice you're there, and he'll just walk right through you. So Runner Watcher, now that he has his mirror, has decided to go straight to Swamp Palace. I think Wadey will do something different, though. Yeah, the confusion with the Mothula damage table is that the Butter Sword class of damage is the same as the Spike class of damage, which Mothula is immune to. So previously, the Butter Sword couldn't harm Mothula at all. So the fix that they made for Rando was that while in a room with Mothula, the Butter Sword is the Tempered Sword. But the Tempered Sword rules still apply, and that is spins do nothing. But people sometimes get confused about that and think that the fix was that Mothula can take damage from that class of damage.
Interesting. I actually was not aware of this.
So Runner Watcher headed straight to the back of Swamp Palace. I think he decided to leave left side for now, although he may choose to return if there's an item over there. Witty Words headed up to Mothula himself, and probably to Graveyard Ledge after, if we haven't found a hint for it. Meanwhile, Big Master and Lemmy both need to find that mirror. Big Master already making the play for the boots, but he decided not to go to the boots checks right away. Or did he? Does he have the mirror? He seems to be headed to Swamp.
Moth is down. What makes it strange, though, is that,
Oh, he does have the mirror.
Potentially in Vanilla, you could, I believe, actually get the Butter Sword before Mothula.
Yeah, definitely you can. It would be... It's unusual for, like, a new player to do something like that, though.
True, but they still could.
Probably not something that ever showed up in, like, playtesting. So Big Master did do those boot checks that I missed. And he does have his mirror.
Silvers!
Update that on the tracker. Was it Silvers on Argus?
Yeah.
Fun. It's almost as good as a bow. Not really.
Don't worry about it, Dimensive. That happens a lot.
Oh, it's a Darkest Light. Okay. Let me only getting a single rupee from Purple Chest. Alright, looks like Lemmy's making the play. He's headed back up the mountain towards his boots and Crystal in Terrapara. Witty Words giving us our first look at the Bombos tablet. That'd be fun with 2 required tablets. Not today, though. And it appears there is at least one item on left side swamp. Runner Watcher is headed back in. It's not a terribly uncommon call for people to leave stuff behind on left side swamp because they are like relatively much less efficient checks.
Alright.
Alright, and Weighty Words heading into Swamp Palace as well. Seems Big Master's making the same call as Runner Watcher. Doesn't want to risk going to left side swamp just yet. And Lemmy finally has his boots and showing us how happy he is to get them. Thank you, Lemmy. And left side swamp had some rupees and a picky.
Makes sense.
It's a nice game. It's a friendly game.
When it wants to be.
Nice observation from chat. There is still one item in Boots.
Ice Rod!
Ice Rod, a very nice item to find. That does make left side swamp required.
Oh, that's horrible.
So Runner Watcher is headed over to Bombo's tablet. I wonder if he will opt to go back to desert.
I just realized something.
What's that?
Something very trolly. Did you notice our pendant layout?
Oh, yes. That's a good point. You go ahead. Let the chat know what you're thinking.
Well, in GT...
Yes, with Eastern and Pod both being pendants, the bow could be in Ganon's Tower itself. The bow being an absolutely required item for getting through Ganon's Tower.
It is, quote-unquote, absolutely required.
Well, there is a sequence break, but it's hard, okay? It's hard.
I'm actually not sure if that's allowed in Daylights.
I believe that it's currently allowed, but that may change.
Fair enough.
Like, it seems to be how we're dealing with it is just you can do it until somebody says you can't. So like the new Ancilla stuff has all been said you can't. But that could change as well. Yeah, we're in the process of getting a more streamlined way of dealing with the rule sets.
Yeah, I do believe they said that'll take a few weeks.
But the mimic clips in GT, it's actually pretty difficult. It's a lot of frame perfect movements. So you typically do them with menu buffers. But you have to do many in a row. So while most anybody could do it one time, to do it so many times in a row without failing is very challenging. I'd say for most players, it's not worth trying until you can do it really, really quickly.
Yeah. Also, can you explain to them the what'd you call it again?
The mimic clips?
The other thing, the thing that starts with an A.
Oh, the Ancilla stuff? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, that.
Oh, it's just a bunch of new glitches that were found where if you... Basically, it stems from if you have a lot of stuff on screen, the hookshot and other items kind of act really weird and allow you to clip through things you shouldn't really be able to clip through. So, like a
Basically,
typical...
the game can't deal with.
Yeah, but most glitches in A Link to the Past do stem from the idea that A Link to the Past cannot do two things at the same time. Nice
so true.
God Pixel from Runner Watcher.
Ooh,
So this is
good
Runner
job.
Watcher's first dip back into Thieves Town after only doing the first 4 before.
Oh, Thieves Town
So,
Big Chest.
Yeah, the Thieves Town Big Chest did have an item, and if it's progression, anybody who decided to kill blind, which is all 3 of our other runners, they're in trouble because it's very difficult to make that decision to go back.
Are we sure he's done Thieves Town at all?
Runner Watcher? You know, he may not have, but I think he did. Given how the seed is laid out, I imagine everybody did first 4, but
it doesn't look like he's done the back at least.
Yeah, he hasn't done the back at all, but he probably did the first 4 at least.
I mean, that was their choice, though.
Right. I believe that almost everybody decided to do first 4 and then came back later and killed blind instead of doing Aga. Runner Watcher was the only one to decide that Aga was more worthwhile.
I mean, didn't he check Lumberjack?
No, nobody checked Lumberjack except for Big Master.
I thought somebody else checked it before going up Aga Tower.
Weighty Words had Sequence broke the East Dark World, and when he got his boots, he checked Lumberjack.
Ah.
And it was only 10 arrows.
10 arrows.
Yeah, so not a big deal. So all this time Runner Watcher spending in Thieves Town could have been avoided. But, you know, from his point of view, it could have been the bow, right? Yeah. Lemmy, however, is making another play we haven't seen yet, going back into Desert Palace to get that last boots locked item.
Gosh, I'm hoping for bow on, like, the big chest or something now.
Oh, and Jen letting us know that Big Master decided to nope out of Swamp without doing left side. That's not so good. The Ice Rod is locked behind left side Swamp. He will have to go back to finish the game. There are opportunities, though, where it doesn't look so bad to go back, so he may do it eventually. And only suffer a little bit of a time loss. It's a little unusual from Runner Watcher to see him go into Thieves Town before Skullwoods, with Skullwoods being a crystal, and it also having items in it that he hasn't seen yet. But, you know, everything that you do in Randomizer is a gamble. Whether it's full clearing a crystal dungeon or dipping into a pendant that you can't complete. Everything is a gamble.
There's Ether.
There's Ether in Desert. Oh my gosh. So, that's really good. Ether is the required medallion to get into Turtle Rock, and as soon as Lemmy gets the Ice Rod from left side Swamp, he'd be able to full clear it.
So double dip Desert Palace required.
Yes, it was. Now I don't know if Lemmy has the information that Ether is required for Turtle Rock. Though everyone has had the opportunity to go to Dark Death Mountain, I didn't see if they all actually looked at it.
Well, there was the mushroom.
Mushroom and Graveyard Ledge. Fun. Everyone loves a good fetch quest.
Oh boy. We still need Flute. We might need Quake.
Yeah, I imagine
Bow.
I imagine the lack of Flute is a big reason why so few runners have gone back to Desert, because it does take a lot longer to get into Desert using the book rather than the Flute and Mirror. So they may just be hoping to find the
Turtle Rock.
Or behind this mushroom, maybe.
No, we want Turtle Rock, because then they'll have to go to Desert before getting...
Alright, here's our mushroom check. Fetch quest. Fetch. Go fetch the powder.
Let's see if it randomized.
So that is the vanilla location for the magic powder. So you might have thought Runner Watcher was a little crazy, not opting to do fake powder first, but he had the god vision. He knew. He knew. And back to Kakariko we go for Runner Watcher. Witty Words doing Graveyard Ledge as well. He'll get his own mushroom. Yeah, so the only things we really need right now are the bow, the flute, and possibly the Quake Medallion. Where, oh, where could my progression be? Where, oh, where could it be?
It may be in Turtle Rock, but
or magic. Just 3 bombs. Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right. I think Turtle Rock is looking pretty darn good. But the only person with the Ether Medallion is also one of our 2 runners without the Ice Rod. Luckily for Lemmy, though, he hasn't been to Swamp yet, so he still has the... he has an orphan.
He doesn't have Mirror.
Oh, that's true. He hasn't got the Mirror yet. He'll do the boots checks eventually, right? Unless he's already done them and just didn't do Aga. Or Lumberjack, I mean.
Have we seen Bonk Rocks and King's Tomb?
We've seen it from the other 3 runners. But I don't know if Lemmy's done it. If Lemmy's done Bonk Rocks and King's Tomb, but didn't choose to go into Lumberjack, that's no bueno. No bueno. Runner Watcher headed over to Dark Death Mountain, but I'm not sure why. Maybe he did not check the medallion before and isn't aware that it's Ether. Yeah, looks like he's gonna take the time loss. Yeah, he went up there just to go into Turtle Rock because he neglected to check the medallion first when he was up here before. It's very unfortunate for Runner Watcher. That's a good like 90-second time loss to climb up the mountain just to find out that you can't do anything. Witty Words also confusing me. Headed to Catfish? No, he did Catfish. I don't know what he's doing. Maybe going into Pod. If maybe okay. He probably brought a potion. He's gonna go into Pod and see if it's pretty good. Lemmy running into some trouble here in Ice Palace. He's pretty low on hearts, especially if you wanted to do the bomb jump. He's just not going to do the bomb jump. He doesn't need to do the bomb jump because he does have Canis Maria and the hook shot, so he'll be fine. And meanwhile, Runner Watcher making the play, going back into Desert. He will find his Ether Medallion here and be the first runner with the ability to full clear Turtle Rock. Yes, this does look like a pretty questionable call from Wadey, with the bow being possible to be just beat in GT. But you know, he's his only other option right now is to like go back to Desert for 1 item, so it doesn't look that bad from his point of view.
I mean,
okay, he didn't know it was Bowlock. He's choosing not to seek this break. Okay, I thought he had done it already. Okay, Runner Watcher gets his second item. It was the Ether Medallion, and now for I think our 4th climb up the mountain to Turtle Rock.
I don't know. Lady Words is making a beeline for Desert Palace.
Yeah, Wadey is hot on Runner Watcher's heels right now.
And has a crystal lead.
Yeah, the Skullwoods, he's already been back to Skullwoods for sure. Runner Watcher, it's like one of those. It happens sometimes where it feels like I'm doing all the right things. I'm just doing them in the wrong order, right? Like he knew Turtle Rock was the play. He just missed one piece of the puzzle on the way there.
Someone in chat mentioned we know that there's a unique item in Turtle Rock. I didn't see a hint for that, but...
Yeah, I don't recall that either, but I trust chat. They've never lied to me before.
Aside from the, 1,000 times they have.
A unique item above the pose is the hint in Turtle Rock. Of course, we know that's the mushroom, which leads to the powder, which leads to 3 bombs.
Unique item requires a hook shot. Thanks, game. We love you, chat.
So what we're expecting to find here in Turtle Rock is just the flute, but we'd really like to see the bow first. It is pretty disheartening to have to go into Turtle Rock, or not Turtle Rock, but Ganon's Tower looking for the bow.
Yes, but we want bow in the GT big chest.
Not Tower Room?
Of course not Tower Room. Everybody forgets the big chest. No, we want Big Key and Vanilla, and then GT Big Chest to have the bow is what we want.
Oh, that's too nice though, because the big chest is right after. You gotta put Big Key in the very first chest. Put Big Key in Hope Room, and then make them go all the way through Ganon's Tower to get to the big chest. I mean, if we're gonna be mean, let's be mean, right?
Yeah, I mean, either way, it's kind of mean, because then again, they do have better sword. It's not like Ice Armos is too much of a pain. I thought that jelly was a heart floating. Good job, me.
Just a compass in the lava chest. It looks like anything in Turtle Rock's gonna be in the back. Or Mimic Cave. Lemmy taking down Cold Stare, picking up his Bombos medallion, which at this point we still don't know if it's needed. Big Master right behind him in Ice Palace. Runner Watcher doing Mimic Cave while Weighty Words is right behind him. Mimics being mimics. Just 10 arrows in Mimic Cave. Okay, so assuming that we are going to find progression here in Turtle Rock, which I think is almost guaranteed, maybe actually guaranteed. Which chest on Laser Bridge do you think is going to have that progression, Math Girl?
I think it's gonna be Trinex.
Oh, you're not Laser Bridge at all. That would be pretty fun. So, like, from Runner Watcher's point of view, he doesn't know that there has to be something in Turtle Rock, right? He hasn't been back to Skullwoods. So, if he does, like, all of Laser Bridge and still has nothing, he'll probably be pretty depressed. Oh, both items were in the front of Skullwoods? Oh, I did not know that. I thought there was an item marked there. My bad. Well, in that case, we're pretty darn bottlenecked. First chest, just some bombs. Second chest, heart. Okay. There's a small key. All right, we needed that. Take a quick fall to manipulate the RNG. Makes sense.
Oh,
5
what?
rupees.
I'm very confused.
I think
Oh,
you're getting
there's
your range,
magic
Math
in
Girl.
here. Yeah, it looks like it might be. Or it's nothing.
Are there any other locations we haven't seen?
I'm not sure.
I think this might be it. The only other thing I can think of is Cave 45, but I thought somebody did that.
Yeah, we definitely saw Cave 45. So that's 3 unique items on bosses.
Fun seeds are fun.
It's fire rod dashes.
So unfortunately, we do know that there is nothing in Misery Mire. We found an early hint that told us that. But this does open up 3 other item locations, 2 in Mire Shed and 1 in Checkerboard Cave. But
And
the only thing we need is the bow. So,
Pyramid Fairy as well.
Yeah, 2 more in Pyramid Fairy. And it will also open up 27 more items, I think, in Ganon's Tower.
23. 4 of them can't be bow.
Oh, right, good call. So Runner Watcher taking his newfound flute over to Kakariko, where he will activate it and then go straight to Mire Shed, I would imagine. He might opt to do Skullwoods right now since he's over here.
Goodness gracious, what is this seed?
He says no Skullwoods, straight to Mire Shed. So we also don't know what the medallion is to open Mire. If it's Quake, I doubt it is, but it might be Quake.
It is.
Alright, he's not even gonna check.
Finding out.
He's not worried about it. If it is Quake, then Quake has to be here in Mire Shed and Checkerboard. Or the bow, at least.
Alright, it is.
Still not gonna
Stop
check
it!
Runner Watcher, why? Alright, show me the bow. I want to see bow and Checkerboard and Quake to open Mire.
No!
It's the closest we could ever come to doing Ped. Just a piece of heart. Wait a minute. All right, so the bow has to be in GT. Yeah.
Or Meyer.
No, because we know it can't be in Meyer.
What?
There was a hint for the Firelock side of Meyer, and it was 2 items.
Oh.
All right, Bombos.
Pyramid Fairy.
Oh yeah, Pyramid Fairy. Right, I keep forgetting that. I don't think we have not seen a hint for Pyramid Fairy, as far as I know.
At least they know they can just go look for the big key and then go straight to Biddy.
So do you do Pyramid Fairy in this situation, Math Girl?
Yes.
I think I would as well. Pyramid Fairy does take a little bit of time, but especially with having Aga already down and you have the mirror, it's a lot quicker than normal.
Yeah, but doing the whole GT basement is a heck of a lot longer.
Yeah. So it's like item density wise, it's much more likely for it to be in Ganon's Tower. But you lose a lot of time if you do Ganon's Tower and it's in Pyramid Fairy, where you only lose a little bit of time if it's in Ganon's Tower and you did do Pyramid Fairy.
Exactly.
But, you know, everything's a gamble.
Yep.
Witty Words following behind Runner Watcher into Meyer. Of course, Witty Words having already done Skull Woods means that I think he might actually be ahead of Runner Watcher right now. It's hard to gauge because, you know, all the dungeons take such different amounts of time.
No, Frozen, that's not always a small key. I've seen big key, I've seen items there. Seen dungeon items.
Runner Watcher taking a death. Good thing he picked up that fairy earlier. Coming in real handy right now.
Just is trying to powder an anti-fairy on one heart.
Big Master headed into Pod?
Oh.
So Big Master still has not been back to Desert to get the Ether Medallion to go into Turtle Rock. And he orphaned Left Side Swamp, which has the Ice Rod. Now he will have to get both of those items because Trinex is obviously required. Not just for the crystal, but for that flute as well.
He's like, oh, great, it's on Trinex.
So from our point of view, the only item we don't know where it is the bow.
Wait.
And the one place
he hasn't.
Is in Pod.
Oh, no.
What happened?
He doesn't have the Ice Rod because he never got the mirror.
Yeah, Lemmy not having been back to Swamp yet. Or to Lumberjack and then Swamp. No Ice Rod, cannot finish Turtle Rock. I think he might have accidentally skipped checking Lumberjack with the boots.
He did skip it.
Well, that's the right place to save and quit.
Yep, he's headed over there. No!
Nope. Oh, no.
Wait, what did Runner do? I missed it. No, apparently spooky.
Yeah, he was doing the spooky glitch. Witty Words also doing the spooky action glitch. A very fun glitch. It looks really, really cool, and it's really not that difficult to set up once you know the movements for it. Runner Watcher keeps pausing his timer. I'm not sure why. I think it might be like a misclick or something. All right, so Runner Watcher with 6 crystals in hand is going to go finish up Skull Woods, and then he'll have one big decision to make. Do I check Pyramid Fairy first, or just go straight to Ganon's Tower?
Come on, Pyramid Fairy. The new Ancilla glitches are banned for the time being, till further notice.
Weighty Words, on the other hand, just got his 7th crystal, and he has that same decision to make. I suppose we'll wait to start guessing until we see what he does.
Does look like Weighty Words is in the lead at this point.
Definitely.
Not by a whole lot, but...
Alright, so he's going to head over and check checkerboard first. He didn't do that before. Lemmy double dipping Thieves Town. He thought this was the only thing left. Unfortunately, only some arrows. And Weighty Words is going right to Ganon's Tower. No Pyramid Fairy for him. So in Ganon's Tower, there are 22 locations that Weighty Words could find the big key, and 23 where he could find the bow.
Yep. So, yeah, get your guesses in chat for both. Big key first guess, and bow second guess. 0 if you think it's Pyramid Fairy.
Well, no, Pyramid Fairy would be 24 and 25, right?
I mean, tradition dictates that anything outside of GT that we're hunting for in GT is 0.
Good call, good call. So Runner Watcher making the same play. He also is opting not to do Pyramid Fairy first. This is not a crazy play. There are lots more locations in GT, but the risk is so much bigger.
But it looks like Runner Watcher is doing the same.
Yeah, this looks like one of those go big or go home situations, right?
I mean, it's just a daily race. Even if you choose wrong, it's not like you're going to be out of a tournament or something.
Right.
That's a decent point. Weighty Words, I imagine, might know Mimic Clip. I do believe he's experienced with...
Yeah, that's true. Either of these runners
glitches.
could be planning to employ that.
I think Weighty Words is familiar with overworld glitches, unless I'm just completely mistaken. And those are somewhat similar. Yay, Lemmy's getting his mirror.
And there's the bow in Stalfo's room.
Where's the bow? Where's the bow? I think that was 5. What's STNG?
Where do you see this?
Chat.
Oh, what's the STNG thing? Oh, I don't know. Oh, was
No
that
idea.
the Star Trek theme?
I never watched Star Trek. I was mimicking Dr. Bob. So you'd have to ask him.
So that was 11 checks already for Weighty, I believe. And he'll head back over to left side, employing that pink magician routing.
Oh, I miss the days when it was just simple and pretty much everybody did traditional route.
Well, that's kind of like the fun thing about Gainus Tower routing, right? Is that there is no like best way to do it because the big key really can't just be anywhere. So over time, it evolves. Like whatever is the more popular route, it makes other routes more popular as well. And then eventually, it like lopsides, and everybody's doing Dark Magician, so the Hope route starts looking better.
I like doing the Hope Room and then the right 4 chests and then full left and then tile. Except when I feel like doing tile after Hope Room.
Oh, so you're talking about the hybrid route where if you find a key in the Hope Room?
Yeah. Basically.
Runner Watcher also getting his bow. I'm sure he's happy to see that.
And there's the big key.
Big key in Rando Room. I lost count, by the way. I have no idea.
I lost count too.
We can work backwards. Okay, so Tower Room's 22. And then 21, 20, and 19 are behind Ice Armos. 18 is Bob's chest, so it would be number 17?
I guess.
All right, work it out amongst yourselves, chat, because I have no idea.
I don't think Wadey ever got baited into back into Thieves Town, did he?
No, I don't believe so. I think Runner Watcher was the one who did that.
But Bo did end up being in GT. Very interesting. And Big Master apparently still hasn't been back to Desert.
Although Lemmy did find his mirror. And he's headed towards Argus, and if he stays, he'll get his Ice Heart as well. Yeah, you know, from the outside, it doesn't look like that bad a seed, right? Like Eastern and Pod not having anything. But, you know, if you stay and think about it just for a second, it's like, wow, this seed is really terrible.
Yeah.
Left side swamp was required. Required double dip of Desert Palace. Aga was required for Lumberjack. It's kind of gross. Even the bow in Ganon's Tower as well.
Yeah, something we didn't even notice could happen till like partway in.
I certainly wasn't thinking about it at all until you said something.
I just like looked at the pendants and all of a sudden I was looking at what was required and I looked at the pendants and it's like, oh no, Pod and Eastern are both pendant. Oh, sorry.
Runner Watcher going for some Silver's kills in this land, though. They were pretty wily, though. He's got them now, though. And Big Master is going back into Desert Palace, where he'll get his Ether Medallion. But unfortunately for Big Master, he needs to do left side swamp as well.
Yeah.
Lemmy making the right call, going back into swamp to get that last item.
This is This is rough. Well, at least he's gonna get Ice Rod.
Sexy little dash kill there on Molorm 2 from Wadey. Does not open his last possession though. He's got to save those frames. And there's Ether for Big Master. And I have to think Big Master's just going to go to Turtle Rock now, which is really unfortunate.
You know, though, the other thing is yeah, he hasn't done Ice Rod. He hasn't gotten Ice Rod from the left side swamp. Or, well, the big chest with the, yeah. That.
Yeah, just another situation where you're doing the right things, just in just a little bit the wrong order. Witty Words taking down Agatu. Runner Watcher headed into the Agatu fight. Just a little behind. One fall to Ganon could make all the difference. So with this equipment, I don't see that happening. But, you know, it's Ganon. Anything could happen.
Stranger things have happened.
Most definitely.
Was that a triple?
I wasn't watching. Probably.
Dang. Something 02.
Butter Sword makes pretty quick work of Ganon. It's only 6 slashes for each of the first 2 phases.
Okay, I guess it was 10221.
Yeah, sometimes the reflected shots hit too close together and Aga just ignores the extra ones. And that's phase 3. 4 silver arrows finish the fight. There's 1.
Yeah, Ganon, we kind of had to find the silvers. Like,
no
you
trouble
didn't hide those very well. GG.
And down goes the big pig for Witty Words, the first of our restream runners to finish the fight. And if he can manage to walk across this bridge, he'll take the win.
All right,
oh my god, he did it. He did it. He did it, you
guys. Has finished in 5th place with the time of 1:53:08. GG's.
Yes, many GG's to Witty Words. The first of our restreamed runners to finish. Runner Watcher right behind him, of course, although on fewer hearts.
Jeez.
Almost getting hit by that fire bat. Runner Watcher does avoid it narrowly. And gets the final silver. Like Gordon asked, was GT routing the difference? You know, GT routing does make a difference. Like there is if you take a different path than your opponent, it can lose or gain you time. But so many things happen before that point that it's really hard to put all the blame right on Ganon's tower. For instance, Runner Watcher did dip into Thieves' Town, where I don't think Witty Words did that. The 4 players to finish before Wadey on the overall race was Ravis in first place with 138.53. Shire right behind, Pure Agent, and then a Loose at 148.52.
Hey guys.
Welcome, Runner
Hey,
Watcher.
GG.
Thank you. What the heck with that seed?
Yeah, it was not the friendliest seed I've ever seen. Not the worst though, right?
I think it might have been the worst.
You didn't even have to do pod.
Well, I had to do pod because I went in there and I saw the hookshot hint. There's so many ways. I don't know. It was so. I guess if I had just avoided Eastern and pod, I would have done a lot better. But
no,
the ag required, and then the having to go back to desert. That was so stupid. I can't believe. Maybe I should have just gone there to begin with, but I don't know.
I think that the big difference-making play in this particular seed would have been checking Lumberjack early.
Yeah, I mean, I think getting Lumberjack early could have saved me probably like 10 minutes.
Yeah, because if you know Lumberjack's required, you don't really feel bad about leaving like Eastern and Sahasrahla behind. And you just go do Aga and step into pod. It's Volocks, you leave and go to Catfish. Oh look, the hook shot, and just move on from there.
Yeah, it would have been a lot quicker if I hadn't done. And I went into the Dark World. I mean, we got Dark World access from the shovel, so I feel like I wouldn't have even. I don't even know what I would have done, to be honest.
Yeah.
If I had gone to Lumberjack Cave. I mean, I'm sure. Did Wadey go to Lumberjack Cave?
Wadey sequence broke Aga to get to East Dark World, but then when he did finally get his boots, he saw that.
Yeah, I was I was so happy when I saw the mirror on Lumberjack Cave because I was like, yeah, I don't know the current jump. I've never practiced the current jump, so I was just like, or whoever it is, the bomb jump to get to East. Yeah, and so I was just like, I am losing like 5 minutes here to this dumb Aga Tower. At that point, I was like, I can't believe how well I did in this seed because I thought the stuff I was doing made no sense. But I can think of so many places where other people got screwed. I think probably a lot of people got, like last location, that big chest in Swamp Palace with the ice rod. Because
yeah, one of our restream runners did decide to skip out on doing left side swamp, and he is
that's just so bad.
Without that ice rod.
Well, it said there was a hint that there was a unique item in Turtle Rock, and the whole time I was like, "That's got to be the ice rod."
Would have been nice.
It would have been. It would have been nice. But going back to desert, man, to get that one item, oh, that hurts so bad. And the whole. Okay, here's what really screwed me: was doing the whole, going to graveyard and getting the mushroom, and then going to witch and getting the powder, and then going back to the village and then doing thieves and like all that stuff after I did swamp, but before I went to desert, that took forever and it was all like there was nothing that whole time. It was so bad.
Yeah, it was a pretty significant time loss to do all those checks, but from your point of view, it made a lot of sense to do that, right?
Yeah, I mean,
back to desert for one item.
Look, like I think everything. That's why it was a rough seed. I don't think I ever did anything that didn't make sense. It was just that, like, there was another way of making sense of the seed that would have been a lot faster.
Yeah, I mean, rando's gonna rando, right? Like, you can only do what makes sense to you, and if you had just made, like, a little different decision earlier, then what makes sense changes completely, and that's how we get people both making all the right decisions, but finishing, like, 10 minutes apart.
Yeah, I guess so. It was a fun. It was, in its own way, it was really fun. I was happy to just. Like, you couldn't ever stop thinking the whole time. Even looking for that bow, going to Ganon's Tower without doing like Big Bomb or whatever. I was like, oh, I really hope the bow's in there.
Yeah, that was a big question mark at the time. I think like Ganon's Tower was the much more likely place for the bow, but it does feel bad if you didn't check those last two locations and you're about to full clear Ganon's Tower.
What I was really worried about was I was worried that I was going to get the bow on Trinex instead of the flute, and then I was going to have to go and do pod.
That's exactly what
and
I was
everything.
looking for.
Yeah. Actually, I mean, that might not have worked out so badly for me because I was the one who had already dipped pod and Eastern. So actually, that might have helped me compared to the other runners. It's weird because, like, The stuff you don't want to do is the stuff that's going to take a lot of time. But then when you actually are comparing yourself to where the other runners are at, sometimes something time-consuming actually puts you in a better position compared to the other runners.
Gambles to pay off for sure. But as far as like the Kern jump, like while it wouldn't have helped you in this seed, obviously, because Aga ended up being required for Lumberjack, I definitely recommend looking it up. Search on YouTube for a guide or ask on the Rando Discord.
Yeah,
because it's pretty significant time save if Aga's only required for East Circle access.
Yeah,
and it's really not so hard.
This seed made me definitely want to learn the Kern jump and the Ganon Tower,
the mimic clip,
like the mimic clip, because it was just like literally the whole seed. I was thinking about those two things. I was like, why am I such a lazy bum and never learned how to do that stuff? And now I'm completely screwed in this seed. And I ended up lucking out that it just happened to be, it just happened to be that way. I will tell you what I'm proudest of as I see my boss kills go down. I thought that my Master Sword Landmo was pretty good, even though it ended up that I shouldn't have done it because I had to go back to Desert anyway.
Sword from Ice Road Cave at that point.
Oh yeah, but it was still nice and quick. I don't know. I got a lot of double hits.
Yeah, sure. I think
placed the bombs on.
Your execution was really on point the whole seed, from what I've seen.
The thing that really got these last two runners was the Ice Rod.
Yeah, both the Ice Rod and the Ether Medallion was, it took Lemmy and Big Master a lot longer to get those checks.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. I don't actually know where the heck else I even would have looked for Ether Medallion. Oh, I got lucky in other ways too. Like, I missed the bomb jump in Ice Palace, but then I was like, oh, there was a hint that there was a unique on a boss, so I'm just gonna go to Cold Stare, like assuming that that's about Cold Stare and hope that the last item's on Cold Stare. And then there were like 4 bosses with unique items. It was absolutely insane.
Right.
Like it was absolutely unreal. The hint in Eastern did end up helping me a little bit with Mire routing because I didn't have to check the Firelock side at all. Yeah, it didn't go so badly. I'm very curious to watch. I mean, I can kind of imagine what the people who got like 1-3x had done, but I might go back and watch anyway, just because like 15 minutes is a lot of time.
Yeah, you do. If you did like that early Lumberjack check, and you don't go into Eastern and Sahasrara, and you get your Moon Pearl pretty quickly making the Desert play, but then even then you still have to like choose to go back to Desert instead of going to Eastern. Like, but even that doesn't seem crazy if you've gone without checking those locations for that long. Lots of rude item locations in this seed, but on the whole, I think it's not the worst seed.
Yeah, it was
no pen required, no pod required.
It was pretty cute in its way. Yeah, I was happy with when I got the boots. I was happy with when I got the Ice Rod. I think I ended up visiting the mountain just to check the TR medallion before I went to Desert. That was obviously that was a complete waste of like a minute and a half or whatever. That's just me being an idiot and not having checked
that
it
was
the first time.
Really unfortunate that you hadn't checked it when you were there before.
But at that point it was like that and like 2 other checks, and I was just like, it's gotta be T-Rock at this point. So I was like, even though I didn't check it, I'm just gonna go up and assume that it's Bombos.
I think it's really important when you're trying to analyze your own run that you try and differentiate between this is the play that I made that I should have made that didn't pay off, and this is the play that I didn't make that I should have made and it would have paid off, right? So like I don't think that dipping back into Thieves Sound for the 10 arrows in the big chest was like a wrong play, but it just didn't pay off, right? But not checking the medallion on when you were at Hookshot Cave, that was a play you could have made that should have paid off. I'm rambling.
No. It makes complete sense. I think you're actually right, because if I think about the stuff in this seed that was my fault, it's like not knowing the current jump and not knowing the mimic skip, and it just lucked out that didn't hurt me. And then the stuff that did hurt me was like, gambles that were like reasonably rational.
Yeah, I think
you
at the
time,
feel bad about not getting 138, but you should feel a little bad about not getting like 152, right?
Yeah, just like a few things that I should have snuck in there. And then, yeah, I don't know. I guess I was always closer to go mode than I thought because I got like a bunch of things all at once. But I wanted that bow the whole time, so I was just checking everything. I probably shouldn't have done like, I don't know if I should have done like Hera Basement. I don't know if I needed to do that. I don't know. It's all up. I mean, it's really hard to say in retrospect.
Stuff like that. You mean like everything's a gamble, right? Like you either do it and you save yourself like 60 seconds, or you don't do it and you lose yourself like 20 minutes, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I think for like routing the game, when you do make those gambles, like if you choose not to do left side swamp for one item or not to do Hera Basement for an item, you have to be prepared to go back, right? So like if it's the last thing on the mountain, I'm not gonna skip Hera Basement. But if I have like a reason to come back later, like say I don't have Spike Cave access right now or something, then I might skip it for now and just choose to do it later with Spike Cave.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, well, good talking with you guys. I hope it was an enjoyable run. It was certainly, in its own way, it was like a really lovely seed, but also just like completely insane in a lot of the item locations and the Aga and the late bow and everything. But really unique, and I was happy to be able to stream for everybody.
Thank you so much for doing so. It takes a lot for you guys to put yourself out there and be on the restream like that. So guys, give these runners a follow if you appreciate what they're doing for you.
All right, good night, guys. Thanks for having me.
See you later, Runner Watcher.
Looks like Big Master's finally making the play to Swamp.
Yeah, so he'll be headed to Turtle Rock after this.
Oh, meanwhile, hey, cool.
Whoa, hey, look at that. Who were those other two runners again? I already forgot. Now, of course, you can use the !R command that Literally Jen just put in chat for us to get links to all 4 runners' streams so that you can go to their channels and click that follow button and show them some love. And while Lemmy and Big Master are making their way to progression, items, and Gainus Tower eventually, make sure that you give some follows to our commentators and trackers as well. Much love to the trackers. They don't get a lot of spotlight, but we really appreciate what they do. So thank you so much to Dimensive and Literally Jen for tracking for us.
Indeed. Not an easy job either. Easy at all. Let me off to Vitreous while Big Master is about to get his ice rod.
Lemmy's in kind of a rough spot health-wise for Vitreous, but I think he'll probably powder right before the boss and be fine. And there it is. Easy fairy from Lemmy. And we'll probably get some cape strats for Vitreous. This does make Vitreous a lot easier, because like we were saying before, Link to the Past has a lot of trouble with doing multiple things at a time. So when all of this animations are happening with the sword swiping all the little eyes, the game forgets that the cake costs magic, so you can see it going down a lot slower.
Oh, and he actually, so what happened there is he actually killed the big eye before the little ones were all dead.
That is fantastic. And that is Lemmy's 7th crystal, and he can still go to Pyramid Fairy, but Ganon's Tower is the play at this point.
So I believe it's like, you can kill the big eye, but it has like twice the health I've heard before you kill all the little eyes.
I don't think his health changes, but he's only vulnerable when he's actually firing his lightning bolt.
I'm not sure. It's just what I've been told. Also, Big Master finally has his ice rod. Unfortunately, gonna have to go all the way back to Trinex and then do Meyer.
Lemony seems to be headed south through Village of Outcasts. I'm not sure where he's headed. He might be going to Pyramid Fairy, though. Normally you would enter the Dark World by Link's house. Oh, Cave 45.
Where is Big Master going?
He's turning into the mushroom, clearly.
Oh.
Unfortunately, it's just the powder. Although powder, you know, powder's definitely a nice item to have.
Oh, yeah. Not the flute, though.
Or is he buying potions? Oh, I thought he might turn into powder while he was here.
Apparently not.
Alright, not gonna punish him though. They'd only leading to the powder.
Did he? Powder's not marked on the tracker. Lemmy, what are you doing?
Lemmy's just taking care of some overworld checks, just in case the bow is not engaged.
Yes, but he keeps reading with the A button. Does Lemmy not realize it can be in Ganon's tower? Oh no, Lemmy doesn't realize.
Maybe.
Oh no! Oh! Oh no, this is so bad.
Yeah, even though the bow is hard required to go up the gauntlet, that does not preclude it from being in any of the other locations in Ganon's Tower. Does look like he thinks he might have forgot a location.
Oh, maybe. Now, just trying to figure out from this menu. Loot to 1, Lemmy. 1. No, that's not 1.
This is really unfortunate, but you know, this can happen. You know, you have to go to all these locations, and the game keeps making you double dip things. You're trying to remember like all the hint tiles that you saw. It looks like he thinks there may be an item in Meyer. I'm sure he read the hint that said there was 2 items he didn't need, but maybe he thinks he misread it. So this gives Big Master a chance of catching up.
You know, were any of the pendant dungeons required?
I don't believe so. Nearly everybody went into Eastern and Thieves Town, but I don't believe there was any progression in either one. I think Lenny might be a little tilted.
Just a bit. Arrows. Oh goodness, you might want to be careful there, Lemmy.
Big Master going through Turtle Rock. It looks like he's a little worried about the last item here. Collecting fairies for Laser Bridge.
I never actually thought to get fairies that way. Huh. Interesting. And 5 rupees. He's like, what? Where is it?
Alright, Lemmy, go to Ganon's Tower. You have 7 crystals, fam. Okay, we're on the mountain. This is good. Big Master ran out of magic on the very last shot. He had potions as backup though, so he would have been fine.
Oh, what?
Alright, Big Master got his flute, needs to go activate it and head to Mire. Lemmy did figure out that he does have 7 crystals and is headed to Ganon's Tower, but not before showing these Lionel's his boss. Just kill them all.
Alright. Looks like Big Master's gonna do the Meyer area checks first.
Let me take in the top room, Gamble. Oh, that's so dangerous. So there's a bug if you have the cape activated, but you run out of magic on the same frame that you're going through a transition. It makes the game act kind of funny.
Another instance of the game not dealing well with things happening on the same frame. I hate Meyer too.
It's not so bad with sword beams.
It really is. Lemmy about to be in go mode. Although gonna have to go all the way to Rando Room to get the key.
Yeah, thankfully he didn't continue down the right side to Ice Armos.
There's the ball.
Big sigh of relief from Lemmy here.
Not sure Lemmy had anywhere else to check.
Just Pyramid Fairy, I think.
Didn't do Pyramid Fairy in that whole figuring out where
I don't believe
he
so.
had left? Huh. I'll have to ask him about that, or her.
Big Master not having enough magic to check that chest over there. Although, with the hints out earlier, we know that it's nothing. And there's the big key for Lemmy.
Not very happy about that.
And Big Master gets his big key in Mire, but he's headed over to the big chest. I think he may have forgotten about that hint out from earlier. It was a long time ago that we saw that hint.
Man, this is just been a horrible seed.
Bemo's trying to stop Lemmy, but he cannot be stopped. Maybe he can. Oh god.
Oh no! Does he have a
That's
fairy? Nope.
No fairy.
You just had to say something, didn't you?
I did. Oh, poor Lemmy.
And that is Vitrius down.
I imagine he'll probably take the safety room this time at the end of the bridge. Big Master's going back into Meyer. Yeah, he definitely forgot about that hint. Making absolutely sure that the bow is not in here.
Oh, apparently according to chat, he doesn't read hints.
Oh. He may want to reconsider that stance after this scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hints are very volatile. Like, usually they're absolutely worthless, and then every now and then you get a hint that would save you like 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It's really unfortunate because I believe that the hint that talked about Meyer was the one in Eastern, which is like right on the way. You're like 3 pixels away from reading it. Alright, Lemmy gets through the gauntlets this time. Pretty easy land mode fight as soon as you can land these arrows. Spins work well too, though. Like most things in Hyrule, Lamo is weak to the butter sword. Oh, Melchi letting us know that Lemmy doesn't read English, and that's why he doesn't read the hints. Oh.
Oh no. Oh.
Yeah, definitely puts him at a disadvantage.
You know, I kind of think they should have the option to put the hints in any language.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. I think that actually is something that they've wanted to do. But it's a lot of work finding people to translate all the possible hints. So Big Master will be our only runner to give us the Pyramid Fairy check before going up to Ganon's Tower. It's not crazy to do this, like, right? Because full clearing Ganon's Tower is a huge amount of time if the bow happens to be in Pyramid Fairy, but the probability says the bow is probably in GT. Leave me alone, Moldorm! I just want to swipe you! Alright, Lemmy's got it. Thinks about opening the last chest, changes his mind.
What's Lemmy doing?
Not entirely sure. Just having fun, I suppose.
Think that was a double? Might have been a single though. There we go.
Lemmy taking down Agatu, headed into the Ganon fight. Big Master, meanwhile, making his way to Ganon's Tower.
That makes you nothing, Ganon.
Just a big pig.
I actually went through the logistics of that one once, and it's like, yep, that legitimately makes him basically a nobody.
Let me use up all his magic in the second phase. I think he brought a potion then? Yes, he did. Okay.
Yeah. Ooh, careful. That should be good for a double. Ooh, a triple!
Nice triple there in the bottom left. GG's to Lemmy. Oh my god. Scare me like that. What was that? My goodness. GG to Lemmy. Big Master making his way to Compass Room, but he'll have
is there a reason we have no... Oh, that's probably the background music. Never mind. Forgot background music doesn't play on here.
So Big Master ran out of magic here in his way to Compass Room. So he'll have to re-hit.
Lemmy got 41st place with the 235.12. Hey, at least I don't feel like I'm the slowest person ever to be restreamed. Like, I'm starting to realize that a lot of people go over the 2.5 hour mark.
No, yeah, they're like people of all skill levels take part in these races, and being restreamed is open to anybody who asks for it.
Like, in the past, I've been hesitant because it's like, do I really want to do that to the volunteers?
Well, even the best runners can, orphan a location and end up taking a long time as well.
No, like, I average like a 2.5-ish time nowadays. Alright, Lemmy won't be joining us for an interview.
Well, GG's to him all the same. Frozen asks, where do you sign up to race? A link to the pass for these dailies. Oh, we have dailies twice a day, Monday through Friday, and then this open weekly here on Sunday. On speedrunslive.com, you can get info on how to join the IRC and sign up for the races. And then during the in the IRC chat before the race begins, they'll usually ask who wants to be restreamed.
Yep. And if you ever don't want to be restreamed, basically there's Twitch rules that say we can't restream you even if we wanted to if you don't, agree to it. So don't worry about that.
Yeah, no one's getting restreamed
do that anyway.
Permission.
Exactly. I've had that question before. It's like, no, like that won't happen ever. Don't worry. Not actually sure which Twitch rule that is, but nonetheless, it's pretty much common sense.
I think it only applies to affiliated and partner channels, though. But, it's common courtesy not to restream other people without asking them first anyway. Even if that wasn't a Twitch rule.
Like I said, kind of common sense. Big Master almost to his GT big key. Also, Death King, if I can be restreamed twice, you can get restreamed.
Oh, I don't think that's a real thing to be worried about, Allie. Like, I know for me personally, I would not sign up to commentate unless I was willing to wait until every runner finished.
I mean, you say that, but then you get those cases where it drags on for like 4 hours.
Maybe 3 hours would be my max. If Big Master wasn't done at 3 hours, I might have to call it.
I've once did, well, it was a different network, but there was once a commentary I took part in that took 8 hours.
My goodness.
It was standard Oko with 2 very inexperienced runners. Well, inexperienced-ish. We kind of took commentary shifts on that one. we ended. I think it was 8. I might be mistaken. I know one of the runners took 11 hours. All right. Well, I mean, they weren't a beginner. They're just not. They don't have very good times. That's how to phrase it nicely.
Well, on one hit KO, you know, like even the best runners can just die over and over again. Big Master taking the safety room, gets 1 fairy in a bottle, eats the other. Nom nom.
Oh, did I mention the part where it was a plando as well?
So fun. Guaranteed fun.
Well, partial plando. Never mind, I probably shouldn't talk about this here. Kind of just a little inconsiderate to mention other networks while restreamed. Or on restream. Anyway, Big Master. Yep, on to land mode 2.
Nice cane strap for that first Wizrobe room. No bad RNG on the bridge.
Nice, not a bad Wizrobe 2 room.
Oh, misses the bomb there. Unfortunate.
What did he bonk off of?
Not sure.
He just like bonked off of air. Alright, time for Moldorm 2.
Easy fight, easy life.
Yep. 20 rupees, vanilla.
Lemuel letting us know what he thinks of the sea. Thank you, Lemuel. Narrowly misses the double there. And that's only going to count as a single, unfortunately. Stop blue balling me, Aga. Oh my gosh. I just want to finish the game. There we go. Agatu is down.
Nice. Alright.
Big Master trying to do some hookshot strats there, although
Oh, no.
the cape was a lot simpler.
Yeah, I might want to be a little careful.
I think he still does have that fairy from earlier, so he should be
does
fine.
he?
Manages to nail that torch glitch. Makes this a lot simpler.
Ganon, please. One more
Easy
hit.
double.
GG.
And that's it. Big Master has taken down our good friend Ganon. GG's to him and to everybody else in the race.
GG. With a time of 2:49.23 in 42nd place.
Yeah, the seed was it was kind of exceptionally trolly. It really wasn't like the worst seed I've ever seen, but lots of required like double dipping or bad locations for some of the items. The moon pearl being especially trolly.
It was a fun race.
Yeah, absolutely. And I find it really difficult to say this is a really bad seed because PED wasn't required. And how can it be a bad seed if PED wasn't required?
Alright, well, given what was said earlier, I doubt he'll be coming in for an interview. So, want to wrap things up, Koi?
Yeah, we can totally do that. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us on Speed Gaming 3. I believe there's a bunch of other stuff happening right now that you might want to check out on the Speed Gaming network of channels. There will be more dailies to come, 2 every day, Monday through Friday. And I'll be sure to sign up for more commentary as well. And I hope you will too, Math Girl. It has been a pleasure commentating with you.
Indeed, same to you.
Guys, don't forget to follow our runners and our trackers and our commentators using the !R and C commands in the channel. But that's going to be it for us. Have a wonderful night, everybody. Have a wonderful Sunday and rest of the week.
Hey, everybody.
Bye, guys.